everyone, and welcome back to another episode of, another stream. I'm so used to saying episode for some reason. I do this every time. Welcome back to another stream of Jozeevis Plays the Backlog. My name's Jozeevis, and today, as you can see, not see quite yet. We're playing my wallpaper. We're playing Heart of the Forest again. We first played this last Wednesday, and just gonna hop right back into it. See what we can get. I definitely didn't train my Polish pronunciation between streams or anything, so that's still gonna be as good or as bad as it was. So yeah, got to chapter 3. So basically the last thing that happened last time is we incited a little riot against the local loggers. Police stepped in. A lot of shit happened, and basically we went back home. Had another nightmare, I believe, because we've been having those. And apparently now it's the middle of the night. Couldn't get back to sleep since I'd arrived in this accursed village. Things have been getting stranger and stranger with every passing hour. And now I ripped a pillow in half in my sleep. Oh yeah, that's how we woke up, with like our pillow like destroyed. Nothing about it was normal. I need to talk it over with someone I trusted. So Olga's sympathetic. I thought about Olga. Anya's loyal. Anya wasn't from the start. Or the problem was that I didn't trust anyone. Okay, so this is really like where our relationships with other people come in. So yeah, Anya is the girl that's with us. I think we can actually, if we go to the character sheet, I believe we can see this all as well. Yeah, my friend from the university. She came from Norway. Tall, calm person who wore her long hair and braids. An activist. And Olga, I believe, was like the one from the protest that was more about like, actually we haven't looked at this, local activist. Tall with grey dreadlocks. She must have been in her late 40s or early 50s. So yeah, I believe she was from the like side of the activists that really wanted to. I think she literally said like, I'll burn down these like the logging machines if I have to. And then what was his name again? Cornell. He said like, that will burn in the forest. Please don't. So yeah, we've only met Olga once, and we don't know Anya that well, but I believe loyal is better than sympathetic. It sounds like it anyway. So yeah, you have friendly, sympathetic. Gosh is obviously the other side. Unfriendly, well yeah, fair. I think I'm just going to talk with Anya. Like, she's basically been the one that's, as I said, like, been here from the start. She's still here. I messaged her and she messaged me back. I'm on a walk, come join me. The sun had just set and the moon wasn't up yet. Started walking. The forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was nowhere... Wait. Is the audio not picking up? Wait a minute. Huh. That's weird. Because there's definitely audio, I can tell you that much. At least on my side. Okay, I'm gonna do something stupid again. Gonna enjoy my, I guess, let's go here. Oh wait. I'm so confused about this. I'm trying to find like why it's not working, but I haven't found it yet, so I'm just gonna restart the game. Still nothing, eh? That's so weird because it's in my volume mixer and everything. Huh. Wait a minute. Okay, I did the thing again where I was listening to my own stream in the background to see if, you know, if you could actually hear it. And now I see that even though desktop audio recording is on, it's not doing it at all. Like, even that stream, like I don't want that stream to be picked up, but it also isn't, which is weird. Well, we're back to some... So why is this, like, the sound of the game so much louder again now? Maybe that's like last time I think we had this as well, and it's just that the like main menu theme is a lot louder than the rest of the game. That might be it. But yeah, clearly something's not working about the actual... Let's go back to this screen again. Huh. Yeah, enjoy my background, my wallpaper. Why is this not working? What the hell? Why is this option called undo unmute? That's what the hell? Okay. We're gonna find this out. This is very interesting because like I've been like streaming for what now, like almost 2 months, I believe. And I mean, you know, it didn't go great all the time. I was learning a lot of things, but I never had like a stream just not work. And I mean, last Saturday it was because I just couldn't continue in the game. And now it's more technical stuff. Also, we did have the one stream where just the entire vault was silenced for some reason. But what the hell's going... Okay, what if I know you can't see any of this, but I don't think it will be much more interesting if you could. So yeah, audio output capture. Yeah. Wait, you can hear it now, I believe. Okay, it's also very loud apparently. Okay, I'm gonna do something stupid. Stupid. Okay, it's a bit hard for me to hear, but I believe we have audio now. Just like the audio from the game. Yeah, looks like it. It's also a little loud, I guess. Like that? Okay. That was weird. What did that... sure, whatever. I mean, it works now, alright. I'm looking at it and thinking like, why... Oh, I guess we restarted the start of the chapter. I mean, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, couldn't go back, couldn't get to sleep. Let's go for Anya, as we were doing. Oh, yes, okay. It appeared that removing the audio source in my like stream software and then re-adding it, that's what fixed it, so. I could have gone over this and then just like pretend for the like vault that none of this happened, but don't really see the point. Okay, the forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was somewhere near there. We met near the shop in Werewolf It was a characteristic enough point and easy to get to from anywhere in town. What is it? Anya asked. She looked worried. Something strange was happening to me or something strange was happening here? Definitely to me, because like the strange thing that's happening here is just the logging and she knows that she was there. I know it sounds crazy, but I think something strange is happening to me. It's driving me mad. There is something strange happening, she nodded. But I have no idea what it is. I know even less than you. She frowned. Maybe we should go to your new friends, the activists? They... She smiled a little. They are weird. They must know something. Alright, so we're at like high rage, so like our rage response is just getting angry. Which I don't think we want to do. Like, Anya's trying to help us. It's an option. I mean, they sure know things, but I'm not sure if I trust them. You know what they say, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. She smiled and started walking. Let's go, I'm sure they're not sleeping. Okay, yeah, sure, let's find out what the activists have to say. The camp had a different vibe than a logging site protest. There were more people there. We looked around, trying to take it all in. They are coming and coming, Anya laughed, excited. The people in the camp seemed quite cheerful. Oh, did something happen? The smells were intriguing. I watched them for a moment, or someone was singing. I'm kind of interested in what they would be singing. Like if it's going to be something local, or also I think I need to chill a little bit more with the audio input. I don't believe last time we played this game, every time I clicked outside of it, it like minimized. But now it sure is for some reason. Let's go for where someone was singing. I think all of those things sound interesting. Maybe we can do more even. I heard 3 or 4 girls sing together in a unique Eastern European style called the White Voice. It was the most melodic, throaty growling I'd ever heard. The White Voice, I've never heard that actually. Or at least no, I've never heard that term. I listened for a moment and that takes away a bit of our rage. Just got lost in the music for a long while. People were milling about, setting up camp, cooking, preparing posters. Everyone was busy. I looked around. I definitely needed to talk to someone about what was going on, about what I felt. Huh, interesting. Apparently seeing Cornell has to do with our rage. Maybe we can't speak to him if we are like high in rage because he's pretty like calm and tries to do everything peacefully. Olga was there as well. I get the feeling Olga knows more. She was talking about the whole like the forest has chosen somebody and they've chosen you. Cornell is not from here. Like clearly he cares about the logging protest, but he's not local, so might not know what's been going on. So I think Olga's just like, she could probably tell us more. Olga spotted me right away. Well, hello again, she greeted me. Didn't expect to see you here so soon. Actually, she gave me a long hard look. Didn't expect to see you again at all. I tried to rise above it, I snapped at her, or I joined the banter. And that's gonna take some willpower and take some rage away. I think just get a little angry. Like, she liked it when we showed attitude last time, so let's just snap at her. You know, you don't have to be a bitch about it, Olga. Good fucking evening to you too, I snapped. And to my surprise, she started to laugh. Her face softened. There we go. What brings you here, kid? She asked after a beat. I was confused. Let's just be honest now. Like, you know, we've broken the ice. Is it really true? I mean, the stories you've told me about my past and the forest? Well, there's nothing to be confused about. Shook her head. It's perfectly clear that the government will destroy this unique forest if someone doesn't stop them. And you have your obligation to fulfill. She broke off and bit her lip. What do you want to do about it? I didn't want anything violent, or I wanted to smash things. I think just in this playthrough we've already like shown like an affinity for smashing things. I didn't want to do anything violent, or I want to smash things. I think like the rage inside us, just with the whole setting of like werewolves, you know, going against this I want to smash things sounds really nice. I didn't want anything violent. I'm not sure. Like then we probably would have seen Cornell, right? He's really the go-to guy for like handling this in a non-violent way. So actually, let's just see where this takes us. I want to do something, anything. I want to feel like I'm doing something that has a meaning, that will change what happens. I feel like I could smash those harvesters with a hammer. Do you have a hammer? The forest wanted something from me. I couldn't be just an observer anymore. She looked at me. Her eyes were a weird color, like deep, dark honey or molasses. I might, but I need your support, because Cornell will try to push his own agenda. Oh, where are we going? They all wanted to do something that night, but after a whole day's discussion, they were still divided on what to do. 3 for one option, 3 for the other. I had the deciding vote. Ah, okay, so, like, this is what she meant. We have to vote with her. Olga's plan is to just strike at the harvesters before they can do anything. Cornell's plan is to... Docility is a really, like... It's a word with a lot of connotation to use there. But yeah, I guess just more of the protest that we've been doing. Or maybe actually take it to the town itself, like to the town leadership. But these people are not from here, quite probably, right? They're probably like a faraway company that the city here has no influence over as well. Or they're not even a company, they were like, well, they're probably still a company, but they were sent by the government, so... I think going to town is just not gonna work, and also, we've put in with Olga, let's go. I voted for direct action, and soon we were on our way to the logging site. We had some harvesters to the face. Anya tagged along, or I asked Anya to go home. Ooh, that's an interesting question. Let's say she goes with. Like, this would probably be the safe option, but she's also like, she's also activistic, right? I don't want to keep her from this. An activist, yeah. Like, like, why would I stop her from coming here? Let's just go, right? This is so exciting, Anya whispered. I've never done anything so illegal. We were just a group of dark silhouettes running through the night. The moon was hidden behind the clouds. I wished there was more light. I walked carefully or I hid in the shadows. I kind of like I hid in the shadows. Like, this doesn't have to be a problem as long as we're, well, walking carefully, but also just use it to our advantage, right? I was glad about that. Gracious for the shadows that were hiding us. A new moon would have been better. Total darkness so that nobody saw us, but beggars can't be choosers. Also, because we like want a new moon, that's also not like a werewolf thing, I guess. Or at least we got our like werewolf rage down. We soon reached the logging site. Stop the logging at any cost. Yeah, that's our mission. And I knew we were there only because I voted for direct action. I made a difference. Olga stood in the middle of the clearing, looking at the harvesters. She had a backpack on her shoulder. When she moved, I heard a metallic clatter coming from inside it. Let's get going, she said. She looked different in the dark. She seemed more angular, broader. Let's just go for it. Let's just commit to this. Yeah, let's smash something. Agreed. Olga reached into her backpack. She tossed something my way. It wasn't a hammer, but a can of spray paint. Red. I grinned at her or I looked at Anya. Well, Anya's here, right? Let's at least, you know, involve her, I guess, in a way. Exchange glances, like, make sure she's ready as well. Glanced over my shoulder and saw Cornell staring at me. I hope you know what you're doing. I let it slide or I asked him to elaborate. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty low on rage, so like Cornell, you know, say your thing. So what could we do better next time? I asked him to elaborate. We could vote for a plan as a chance to actually help the forest. Cornell rolled his eyes. Olga noticed the tension between us. People know that I'm right, she said, looking Cornell straight in the eye. You should have noticed the first time you came here. Your plan will destroy lives. I'm not gonna let them fight. Like, I'm gonna ask them to stop. We shouldn't, like, this was also in, like, one of the dreams we had last time. We shouldn't be fighting each other, we should be fighting the problem. Tension broke, Cornell shook his head and turned around. Okay, no, that's fair. He doesn't have to like it, you know, but he's here anyway. Be careful and quiet, said Lisa. Who's Lisa again? I don't actually remember. Oh wait, I believe she was, that's the one that doesn't trust us yet. Olga's girlfriend, she had a perfect hourglass figure, long braids and the most stunning cheekbones. Her eyes slightly slanted were a weird shape of blue, deep, almost purple. So yeah, that's Olga's girlfriend, right. There are some guards nearby. I'll take care of them. And with that, she left. The harvesters loomed in the night, now more than ever reminding me of some distorted, terrible creature straight from a horror movie. Their black cables glistened and pulsed in the moonlight, and their stench hit me like a slap in the face. This sounds very much like what we see these things as in our dreams. I shook the can and let go the first blotch of paint. It landed on the side of the harvester. For a moment, I thought the machine shuddered, like it wounded it. A sudden wave of fear rose in my throat. It would turn, it would crush me. I shook the feeling off. I planned to work carefully, I focused on my senses, or I kept looking over my shoulder. I think focus on my senses? Sounds right? Like, it's okay to be careful. But like, you know, we also have something to do. So I think that it's a good middle ground. The stench was fouler here. Something must have crept underneath the harvester and died there, I thought. I gritted my teeth and started to work. I'm gonna block the smell. Like, let's continue working. Because we have enough willpower. Also, we're getting somewhere towards our goal, and that will give us willpower back. So, trying to block the smell, I focused on the inside and just started painting whatever shape came to mind. What are you writing? Lisa asked, joining me. She tried to act cool, but she looked shaken by my graffiti. Wasn't she, like, taking care of the guards? Did she knock them out? I thought she was just going to distract them. But I guess she just fucking knocked them out. Well, okay. Just some abstract tags, I murmured. Not sure if I was ready to share that they were the symbols in my dreams. Don't lie to me. They're pretty explicit and on point. Eventually, our work for the night was done. I wrote "Save the Forest" in every language I know, said Anya, evidently proud of herself. And I might have also Google translated a few more. I looked at the defaced harvesters, and I was proud of us. How is it actually going to help the forest though? Well, we did do something. Progress goal mission. Whatever the forest wanted from me, I felt like I'd done my part for the night. The paint was slowly drying in the hot night air. Uh-oh. Is this going to be where we get caught? We stopped for just a moment to admire our work. And for that moment, everything was still and quiet. The air smelled of spray paint, the harvesters looked stupid and helpless, and then the stillness was broken. That was a good, like, timing. Like, if I actually read that at the, like, speed as it was going, that hey was perfectly timed with the hey in the story. Hey, what are you? What the fuck? Oh, shit, panicked Anya. The guards! I cracked my knuckles, I tried to calm her down, or this wasn't a good moment to panic. Let's keep quiet for a moment. Like, we can. I don't think like going head to head with the guards is going to get us anywhere. Actually, we'll be okay. They haven't seen us yet. Okay. Well, apparently there was a like in between moment. I don't want to lose all my rage. It sounds bad. I kind of like it being in the middle. Okay, let's stay clear-headed. Like, as I said, I don't want to like get into a full-on fight. Let's look at what's happening. Took a deep breath and focused on the rhythm of my heart. It wasn't a good moment to panic and act impulsively. Looked at the guards. The guards were coming. Saw the silhouettes between the trees, of course, but it wasn't them that caught my attention. It was the trees themselves. The trees had been calling to me since I got here. The trees were on our side. The trees could protect us. They should listen to reason. I let the forest speak through me, or we needed to hide. I mean, this one seems like the only one that's related to what we were just talking about. They should listen to reason. That's going to be like talking to the guards and like, we just there's no reason here. We just like fucked up their harvesters. They're gonna do their job, which is to, you know, not let us do that. We need to hide. Makes sense. But this is what, like, you know, the trees are on our side. The trees could protect us. Our connection with the forest. This feels right. I took a step towards the guards. You shouldn't be here, I said, feeling the forest around me. Okay, we actually did come out that way. Whatever. I was more than Maya, I realized. For the man in front of me, I wasn't Maya at all. I was a dark shape between even darker shapes. I was the voice of the forest. Men like you walking in a place like this in the middle of the night. It's unwise. One of them laughed nervously. Is that a threat? You threaten this girl? Olga laughed from behind my back. Oh, you have no idea how threatening we are. I took a step forward. I tried to empathize, or I looked at Olga. I try to empathize. I don't know empathize with what, right? With the guards? I mean, I get that. That might actually be a good way out of this, but still, you know, we fucked up the harvesters, and I guess they don't know that yet. They just see us here. I don't think this is going to end well. I took a step forward. Can either go like show them that I'm like, if I am threatening, I'm willing to back it up. But it might also have like the opposite effect of like they see us and it's like, oh well, we can take you, right? Or I looked at Olga. Maybe letting her take the lead here is probably pretty good. But on the other side, if they can already see us and they see me looking at Olga, they know like to target her, right? I'm going to go for that one though. She just smiled at me. In the half-light, the tree looked crooked and pointy. Job is a job, said the one closest to me. A grim shape who pointed his flashlight right into my eyes. We're calling the police. Don't move. Get out of there. I thought about Anya and took a few steps back. We couldn't get involved with the police. This was serious. I told you not to move. Or what? He paused, unsure, and in that instant the phone flew out of his hand. I don't know how Kim got behind him, but they were there, chuckling mockingly. I'm sorry, did you want to call someone? The man turned around and punched them right in the face. They didn't even flinch. And then they grabbed the man, lifted him up, and threw him at the other guards. Holy hell. Okay, we're already in a fight right now. So I grinned and joined the fight, but that's going to take even more willpower. Probably get down our health as well. But we can't just let Kim do this alone. Like, we need to help them. That was too much for me. I ran, and this also leaves, it leaves Kim behind. It leaves all the other activists alive, and it leaves Anya behind. None of that I want to do. So let's just get into it. Night fight. The clearing shattered like a broken window into sharp pieces. Its edges cut clean by the rays of flashlights swirling in the darkness. One piece, a shout, another, a silhouette leaping, a dodge, a grunt, a punch, a cry. Curses in 3 different languages. I slipped between the pieces, hiding in the shadows. A body slammed into one of the men, and he stumbled. I prepared for his reaction, I lured him to the forest, or I threw dirt into his eyes. Like, waiting is for his reaction, like, no, we're not gonna do that. I lured him to the forest. Oh, that might be good actually, because the connection we have with the forest and the trees might protect us. That's actually pretty good. I threw dirt into his eyes seems like a very sensible solution though. But I kind of feel like the spiritualism that we've got going on, so I'm gonna do this one. There we go. Whatever my connection with the forest was, it was a good time to use it. I laughed at him and ran toward the trees. He came after me, blinded by anger, tripped on a root sticking out of the ground, and fell with a loud thud. A flashlight shone his way. Anya screamed, oh shit, and grabbed my arm. I saw blood on his head, blood on the stone next to his head, blood on the ground, dark and fresh. A victory? He had it coming, or I didn't mean to? I mean, I didn't mean to. Alright, Gizmo. How you doing? You didn't just see me murder a man, that was purely accidental, you saw it. So yeah, I didn't mean to, had it coming, or a victory. I'm just gonna say, he had it coming, we didn't do that. Just kinda happened. Forrest did that. That's very fair. I mean, this is what most of the game is. It's just a visual novel. Alright, yeah. I forgot I had Discord, like, connected to that. It was a fight, and in a fight, sometimes you got hurt. I turned away from the man to look for another target. Well, it doesn't sound like we're, like, meant to do this. Then I heard a shout. She killed him, one of the men shouted, the horror clear in his voice. Okay, maybe this was a bad decision. He directed his flashlight at my face, blinding me. I covered my eyes, suddenly I realized what we were doing, or I moved out of the light. What do you mean, suddenly I realized what we were doing? As in, like, we're gonna murder all of them? I guess that seems like a little much. That was just the forest doing that. I covered my eyes seems like, just like, that's not gonna accomplish anything. It's gonna make us look stupid. So let's just get out of the light. I mean, you know, stay in the forest. Forest is on our side. I ignored him and dodged out of the light. A second later, I noticed a huge silhouette behind him. It looked at me and its eyes were glowing. Leave her alone, it growled, and I recognized the voice. Recognized? Cornell? I guess this is where the werewolf come in? It was Cornell. He was bulging, muscles growing bigger, bones getting longer. He let out a joyous roar. Throwing his hands, now equipped with strong claws, in the air, he grabbed the man and slashed across his torso. I looked at the 8 feet tall, fur-covered monstrosity. For a moment, I hoped that I was dreaming. Something warm landed on my face. More blood. Yeah, those are terrified screams, alright? Anya looked at me, panicked. What do we do? The man screamed again and pointed a gun at Cornell. I attacked Cornell, I attacked the man with the gun, or I turned and ran. I attack Cornell sounds like a horrible option. I attack the man with a gun, slightly less horrible, still very horrible. I turned and ran. I still don't want to, like, I want to be involved in this. Although then again, at this point, 8 foot tall, fur covered monstrosity, probably would be able to handle himself. Also Anya's with us, so probably this should be the moment where we realize, like, us mortal beings are not meant for this place right now. I turned towards the forest and started to run. This was all too much. Oh, well, Jesus, okay. Look back, a gunshot tore through the night. And then there was only pain. That was a mistake. We just got shot. Oh, jeez, those are some sound effects going on. What the fuck? Okay. The pain was unbearable. Nothing in my life prepared me for this. I knew I was dying. I started laughing. Honestly, like, I started laughing. Sounds absolutely insane. What, I'm a pussy because I don't like getting shot at? Oh, because I ran away. No, that's fair. Then again, 8 foot tall, fur covered monstrosity. If you're not gonna run, you're just stupid. Like, I knew I was dying, that's just giving up. I started laughing. That's utterly insane, but probably, you know, that's my nervous reaction, so that sounds actually pretty good. I mean, to be fair, we knew the guy that just turned into a werewolf, and he was pretty friendly, but I don't know how much friendliness is left after that. You know? I'm just gonna start laughing. How is that cunning? What? Blinded by the blood in my eyes and the searing pain in my shoulder and chest, I could only laugh. This wasn't what I expected from this trip. You spent so much time planning, only to see your whole life crash and burn. All I could do was laugh, but I knew how serious it was. I don't know if we, like, die if we get to 0 health, or if it, like, we need to, like, get to 0 health and then do something. But we are at 0 health right now, so... So I laughed, grinning with bloody teeth until my strength left me and I couldn't hold myself upright anymore. The forest caught my fall with a bed of moss and twigs. I stopped trashing and a cold numbness engulfed me. I gave up, or I tried to get up. Well, this definitely sounds like if we give up now. We're dead. Let's not do that. We have the willpower, we can push on. I punched the earth, trying to get some feeling in my hands. I gritted my teeth and tried to get up. I collapsed again. It felt so cold. Suddenly there was light. I looked up. The full moon. It looked different. Huh. Your willpower dropped to 0. When you lose all your health or willpower, you become impaired. That's what it was. We become impaired. This will make physical tasks if you have 0 health, or social and mental tasks if you have 0 willpower, harder and sometimes impossible. That's the end of that sentence. And sometimes impossible. The moon was a goddess and she noticed me. Get up, she said. Well, let's get up. Ah! I get up, I feel good. I know that I shouldn't, but I don't remember why. I don't care. I stretch, I breathe, or my mind is clear. Also, our icon definitely isn't that of a human anymore. Krinos. Huh. I feel like health's probably... there's people with guns here. Let's stretch a little. My muscles are sore and cramped, so I stretch like I've never stretched before. My arms are longer, my legs are stronger. My heart is pumping and I feel like I've spent my whole life packed into a box and I've finally been set free. My mind is clearer than it's ever been before. I see the world in sharp contrasts of black and white, movement and stillness. I smell prey. I hear language in the hooting of owls, the whistling of the wind, and the snarling of wolves. I am one with the forest. I take a breath and feel my ribs and muscles move. The forest smells of blood and fear and excitement. I am happy. I laugh happily, and the others laugh join me. We laugh and sing to the moon. Something touches my leg. I look down. There's a small malformed creature sticking something sharp in my muscles at my thigh. The creature disgusts me. Its arms are too short, its legs bent the wrong way. It's covered with a tangled mess of dead plants and the skins of tortured animals. It reeks of things dark and slimy and decayed. I rip its head off. I stick my hand in it, or I push it away. You got that pretty fast. Yeah, those are some options. Well, the image certainly is showing us one of these options. Let's just go right here in the middle. Just claw person. I'm not what? No? I don't even have a dick. What are you talking about? I reach out and stick my fingers into the creature's belly. When I pull my hand back, there are strings attached to... Oh, jeez, this is quite something. That's some... The creature pulls the strings and dances like a marionette, and for a moment it's funny. Then I lose interest. My ears prick and I hear more creatures running blindly through the bushes. This certainly took a turn from what we were doing just now. My leg no longer stings and I feel better than ever before. Is this a dream or prey hunt? I am interested in about, like, this is definitely, you know, this is connected to the dreams that we have been having, so... Is this a dream? I'm just curious what that's going to do. Where that's actually going to take us. Maybe it's a dream, I think, as I move silently through the undergrowth. The creatures are running away, their backs turned to me. They stumble and shout. Suddenly one of them turns my way. It is terrified. I attack, I roar, I just look at it. Ah, roaring again. Middle option. Sounds pretty good. It's already terrified. I roar and the creature falls down and curses the ball. Oh, that's not running away. It smells of ammonia. Piercing lights burn my eyes. The creatures surround me. They seem to work like a pack. They are dangerous. I fight them all. I strike them one by one, or I run away. We are getting pretty low on both, like, rage and willpower, so we should be, you know, conscious of that. Oh, I'm not gonna run away. But fighting them all, like, it literally just said fighting them all is a bad option. So let's just, like, give up our last rage, hope we will get some of it back. Go somewhere else. I hide in the shadows and they are too slow, too dumb, too clueless to notice me. Strike them down one by one. Some fight back. That's fine. Some manage to defend themselves briefly, but most of them don't see me coming. I look up and see no moon, only clouds and tangled branches. Something changes. Is this gonna bring us back to human? Oh yeah, it looks like it. Something changed and I realized how tired I was. I stumbled. Nothing was okay. What are these noises? The night sky was full of stars. I opened my eyes. Oh, whoops. Confused, I opened my eyes. The forest around me was thick and dark. The tree trunks wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy and covered in ripples of lichen when the vines hadn't taken hold. The thorny, leafless bushes at their base were overrun with nettles. The fungi radiated with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms clung to the fallen trees. I tried to breathe, I was cold, or something was wrong. I believe this is like the same choice that we had at the start of the game. Like when we had our first dream like this. I don't remember what we did then. I think I tried to breathe. We know something's wrong, obviously. I was cold, it's like, whatever. Don't think about it, and be less cold or something. Try to breathe. I took a deep breath and winced. There was a foul smell in the air. Suddenly I realized it wasn't the forest that smelled so foul. It was me. This is definitely like where we started. I looked down and saw my hands covered in a dark substance. I was naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid was clinging to my skin. I could feel it on my face, in my hair, blood. There was a whisper. The word resonated in my head. Garou. What the hell is Garou? We've not heard that word before. Do we know what's coming? I remembered my dream and slowly lifted my eyes. Okay, there's a severed head. Remember that one? There was a severed head right in front of me. I felt sick, or I winced and touched it. Last time I definitely remember touching it. But getting rage back seems pretty good. And also, it is sickening. Let's be honest here. That is sickening. The face was contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, the tongue stuck out. It was obscene. It doubled over, retching. I recognized that face. Oh, whoops. Oh god. Oh no. It was Anya, her braids covered with dry blood. The head watched me with reproach. I think this is a screaming moment. That's a screaming moment. Uh-oh. I let out a long, blood-curdling scream. The night swallowed it. The bushes rustled, and a moment later I saw Cornell coming out from between the trees. He looked at me, at the hat, at my face. He came closer and squatted beside me. This is what we were trying to tell you, his grey eyes smiled. See, you're a werewolf. I looked at him. I blinked. Everything faded to black. It's going to be our next chapter, I assume. Especially with this. And there we go. Lost in the woods. What does any of this mean? Oh wait, we're lupus now. So I guess we are like in wolf form? A Garou of human ancestry. Also the human form of the Garou. So I guess Garou is just like a catch-all term for all different kinds of werewolves. I've never actually played Werewolf the Apocalypse, so I don't actually know. So yeah, we don't know. We can't look at any of these, like what they mean. So I guess let's just play on. The morning smelled of fur, earth, and the forest. Over the gentle snoring that filled into warm space under the low-hanging branches of an old spruce tree, I heard a squirrel. I was hungry. I went outside, or I quietly crawled outside. Let's just go outside. What can go wrong? Stepping over the sleeping forms, I made my way outside. Alone, hiding in the tall grass, I sniffed around. The sky was bright and the forest around me was dark and full of interesting smells. High in the trees, birds yelled about status, sex, and violence. Is that what birds are constantly yelling about? Is that just it? Are birds secretly rock stars? I was in danger, memory started to come back, or something was wrong with that picture. What picture? The sky was bright and the forest around me was dark and full of interesting smells. What picture? I don't see how we're in danger right now. Not from some birds, certainly. At least I would hope so. Memory started to come back? Curious about that one? Something opened in my mind and memory started flooding back. The fight, the gunshot, the strange dream about being a werewolf. A creature stirred in bushes nearby. A tall, dark silhouette. A strangely familiar smell. I don't know what kind of, like, how big a bird should be that right now I should be afraid of it once I've just been told that I'm a werewolf. like I think werewolves, like, what was that other one described again, like a 7 or 8 foot tall fur-covered monstrosity? I think most birds would not be able to handle that. Maybe all of them, I'm not entirely sure. I tensed up or I tried to run away. A creature stirred in the bushes nearby, tall dark silhouette, a strangely familiar smell. If it's familiar, let's just, you know, stay here. Tensed up and watched the human as they looked around. Maya, there you are, they said when they noticed me. It was time to get out of there. A spasm? Sure. Oh, we just turned back into a human. Suddenly a feeling like a cramp or a spasm surged through me and everything changed. I was Homid, the human form. My body started resetting itself to the familiar shape, and it hurt. Bones broke and fused again. Muscles and sinews moved under my skin. I cried and trashed. And panting and sweaty, I was Homid again. The guru of human ancestry, also the human form of the guru. Right, yeah. I hit the ground with my bare ass. Colors exploded. The morning breeze suddenly became cold, and I shivered. I mean, still, werewolves from Twilight would still be able to take, like, I think all birds. You know, the one thing birds have is, you know, obviously they can fly away, so they got that going for them. But it's not like birds have, like, have ranged attacks either. I think, like, you know, the most they can make out of it is a draw and just fly away. Confused, I looked at the person approaching me. Cornell's sympathetic. Oh, so this is Cornell, right. You look cold, Cornell smirked and showed me a bundle of clothes. You've been on a change for a while, that won't survive it. Not until you learn to ride, at least. What does any of that mean? I think you're vastly underestimating werewolves, no matter where they come from there. I snatched the bundle and started pulling the clothes on. Sneakers, loose-fitting jeans, a hoodie with a unicorn, they fit perfectly. Thought about the previous night. When I was raging through the forest, about how differently I experienced the world through the wolf senses, and about the discomfort and confusion of changing shapes. So, was a werewolf. Mastered a change. Interesting. There was no denying it, I was no longer human. Were we ever? That's the real question. Was all their fault? Wait a moment, alright? Or I appreciated the help? I mean, I do appreciate the help. Also definitely want to know what the fuck's up with this. Whose fault is this exactly? If anything, it's our fault for coming here. I want to know about this ride, and you know, we've been playing a spiritual. That sounds pretty good. Did you mention a ride? I raised an eyebrow. You mean magic is real? You're a werewolf. Do you even need to ask? We just stood there for a moment in silence. I was wondering how one usually learned that they were a werewolf, but how come nobody knew about werewolves? Or I asked Cornell about his story. I would like to know his story. You can take the willpower hit, it's fine. So, how did you become a werewolf? I was born a werewolf, it seems, he answered. He was playing with me. I asked again, or that's not what I meant. Not what I meant. That's not what I meant. It just isn't. Oh, I mean, when did you, you know, change? Oh, that. I was serving in Afghanistan. It was an ambush. Stuff happened. Awesome. What kind of response is that? What stuff? Or it must have been hard. It definitely must have been hard. Like, what the fuck? What are those other options? What the shit? I'm sorry, it must have been hard. It was. They sent me home with PTSD. And once home, I got found by others. They needed someone who knew how to fight. Why? We were the real eco-terrorists back then, my pack and I. But I realized that violence only breeds more violence. And it's not the way I want to follow. Okay, yeah, so the big question, of course. Doesn't make any sense. How come nobody knows werewolves exist? We protect the veil, was the answer. It's easy to convince humans that supernatural doesn't exist. They already want to believe that, and the delirium helps. So veil is a poetic term for the false assumption that the supernatural does not exist. which the delirium reinforces. Okay, sure. What's the delirium then? Oh wait, we can actually ask Cornell. Let's just see what he has to say. You mean delirium is in the medical condition? I asked, remembering something that I read about acute confusional states. You'll have to ask Pat for that, but the gist of it is that humans are incapable of remembering that they saw a Krynos. He laughed. They panic, turn away, and instantly forget. Every time. The half-wolf, half-human war form of the guru. Okay, so that's the actual, like, werewolf form. Okay, so what does... he didn't give us an answer. The madness and memory loss suffered by humans who took upon a guru in Krynos form. Okay, yeah, so it really just all comes down to the fact that, like, you know, regular humans constantly convince themselves that nothing's going on. I realized something important. The wolves had awoken. The clearing was full of wolves. Fuck. The wolves were closing in on me. I knew my next decision would have serious consequences. Denial, escape, or acceptance, cooperation. Oh, we can actually like turn away from this. But why would that take us further into the forest? Maybe this whole thing is like, you know, us turning into a werewolf isn't the actual thing the forest wanted from us. Maybe this is just something on the way there. I don't know. I mean, I want to accept and like see what happens there, but that's interesting choice. The headless body was heavy. They said that as my first kill, it was my burden. It was my duty to take it to the barrows. I didn't want to do it. I didn't kill her, or I got my shit together. Wait, this is Anya. I mean, we didn't kill her. We definitely killed the... Oh, wait, did we kill her? Oh, fuck. Shit. Let's find out. They'll probably tell us here. But I didn't do it, I said, looking at the corpse. I'd never... You have to balance the debt you cause with your achievements. That is the path of the guru. He accompanied me, carried the severed head in the bag. Ugh. The others stayed behind, covering the tracks. I couldn't believe Anya was dead, or I focused on the walk. I think we've deserved to like dwell on this a little bit here. She only wanted to help, you know, I said quietly. She was so worried about what's happening here, and it's hard, Cornell admitted, looking at me with sympathy. But we're at war. That happens. The faster you learn to accept it and honor it, the better the soldier you'll be. Let's just willpower it. I kept dragging the body, getting more tired and more sweaty with every step. Oh. So we can change. But suddenly I knew what to do. Like, changing is what to do here, right? Why is that a separate option? And why does that cost willpower? Let's not fight that. Let's just change. Like, let's go with the flow here. Oh, we can choose? Wait, what's the... Glabro is strong enough to lift heavy things without breaking a sweat and intimidate. Okay, so that sounds perfect for this job. Krynos is a war form, a ruthless killing machine. There's nothing subtle about it. Yeah, I think you can say that. It's about twice as big as a normal person. Hispo is a monstrous wolf. Smart, fast, heavy, and absolutely scary. And then we have Lupus, is the wolf form. A majestic animal with all its advantages and limitations. Looks great on camera. What? What is that? Good to know, I guess. Well, let's go... Glabro? What a name. It was Glabro, the near-human form. The pain was stronger than I ever imagined. I felt my muscles spasm as they rearranged themselves. My jaw cracked and my mouth filled with blood. I clenched my fist and claws drove into my palms. I screamed. When I rose, panting and sweaty, I was more than human. I was Glabro. Wolfish, strong, scary. The change hurt more than I expected. The world shifted. Not much, but enough. I felt my teeth get sharper and muscles get stronger. I picked up the body. It was a lot lighter. At some point I realized we weren't alone. There were two shapes in the bushes on either side of the road. Animals. One big and grey, the other small, nimble and white. Ah, my companion smiled. I see you've noticed our patrons. Again, let's ask him. Patrons? The winter weasel and the morning wolf. Oh, we did have those in our dreams. Yeah, that's right. Sorry what now, patrons? I asked. Yes, the spirits who helped us fight the war. The two animals stopped in front of me in the middle of the path. We came here to teach the cub, said the wolf. Oh wait, the wolf's talking. That's normal. She smelled of ash and tears. Am I hallucinating? I couldn't believe what I saw. It made no sense. I felt as if my brain was short-circuiting, trying to interpret the signals not meant for human senses. Was that really a wolf or was it really a weasel? I think wolf got used to that now. You know, there's wolves here. We can accept that. What's the weasel doing here? That's what I want to know. When I turned my eyes away from the weasel, it flickered, as if it was just a projection on a broken screen. One moment, an animal. A moment later, just an ID. When it talked, the air smelled of electric discharge, and I felt like the words displayed directly in my mind. They wouldn't leave me alone. With hallucinations or not, they just wouldn't leave me alone. The weasel circled me, and before I knew it, I could feel small claws on my leg, then on my back, then on my arm. It smelled of musk and electricity, and then it bit my ear. I tried to shake it off, I ignored it, or why would it do that? What? Why would it do that? What was that weasel's name again? It had like a name, right? It wasn't just yet a winter weasel. I tried to shake it off, I ignored it, or why would it do that? I think like the whole point of that dream that we had about the weasel and the wolf is that they had to work together. So I tried to shake it off, doesn't sound like the way to go. I ignored it, it's probably, you know, it's not gonna get us anywhere. Why would it do that? That's the real question. How? Why would you do that? To see how you'd react, obviously. The weasel's electronic voice echoed in my head. Enough, the wolf growled. Or at least that was my brain decided to hear. In the beginning, there was Gaia, a Mother Earth, and she gave birth to a mighty breed of warriors, the weasel began. It sounded electronical, like a teenager reading a Wikipedia page over a voice chat. They were called Guru, that's werewolves and werewolfish, and their sole purpose was to protect Gaia. They failed, wailed the wolf. I looked to the weasel for advice, or I looked at the wolf. Well, you know, the weasel's making sense. As, you know, as much as a talking weasel can make sense of talking about this. What's the wolf all about, though? There was danger everywhere, shrugged the wolf, and I looked to her for advice. When time began, Gaia released three primal forces upon the earth. The Weaver, the Wild, and the Worm. Oh, that's the weasel. Whatever. The Wild was the untamed force of life and creation. The cold, ruthless Weaver gave structure to the world, and the Worm destroyed what needed to be destroyed, creating balance. So the untamed force of life and creation, the cold, ruthless Weaver gave structure to the world, and the Worm destroyed what needed to be destroyed, creating balance. So what would werewolves fall under? It's probably not the Wild. It's, well, untamed force of life and creation, maybe, could be. Ruthless Weaver, the cold ruthless Weaver gave structure to the world. Okay, it's definitely not that one. And the Worm destroyed what needed to be destroyed, creating balance. Maybe? I think Wild. I think actually Wild makes the most sense here. And also, if you're wrong, we're wrong. So were werewolves creatures of the wild, I asked? An untamed force of life? They were Gaia's children, born to herd and contain humans. Okay, so I went wrong. The Weaver grew two ambitions and trapped the Worm within its lifeless web. Confined in the night, the Worm went slowly insane. The wolf wailed. Now, Gaia is dying, choked by the Weaver and eaten alive by the Worm, wailed the wolf. And the Wild is not the one you should fight. You were born to protect it. Then it turned and led the way. To the barrows. Barrows looked just as I remembered them, but somehow calmer, warm and welcoming. Why is it? How is this welcoming? Whatever. Cornell kneeled near one of the mounds, put his hand on it, and whispered a few words. I saw the ground open slowly, like a mouth in the earth. I sighed. Let's do this. Put the body in the hole. Sorry, Anya. We took the severed head and the body I'd wrapped in sheets and put them in the hole. It closed slowly, and I could swear I heard the trees nearby sigh in anticipation. The wolf howled, and I could feel the hair on my hands rise. Welcome to your new life, the talking white weasel grinned. We have something else to show you. I ran with them, or I had so many questions. I think at the moment there's not a lot of questions going on, actually. Like, they've explained most of it. You know, the questions that I would have in this position are mostly just like, why? Huh? Can please stop? But well, you know, let's just run with them. Let's just, you know, again, go with the flow. That's the mode of the game right now. You're a cup. You're a cup, so you have special privileges, said the weasel. Pushcha will grant you a vision. You must see to understand, said the wolf. Think carefully before you choose what to see. The past, your family, the present, the forest, or the future, your destiny. Okay. Well, basically we came here for two things. It's like the forest called us here to do something. That's our destiny. We could find about that. We could find out about the forest, but I don't know what that's going to add. Or the past, our family, which was the other reason why we came here. Like, clearly we were led to this forest, or like called here. But also, this is what we came here to find out. We have a connection to this. And we want to find that out as well. That's still one of our goals, right? Like, we have multiple goals. Understand what connection to the forest. People stop the logging at any cost. Find your place among the guru. Ah, so we didn't actually go for that one. Understand what connection to the forest sounds more like this, actually. Okay, so yeah, I am curious about our family, but that's not our current goal right now, so I'm just going to ignore that possibility. So it's either our destiny or the present and the forest. This sounds actually like, the present and the forest sounds like what links us to this goal of understand what connection to the forest, right? That's the present, that's the forest. Let's go here. Let's find that out. It was hard to find the den, although I knew where it was. I felt the Pushcha playing with me, twisting paths, blocking my way with bushes and dead trees, and then suddenly opening a new path that was straight and full of sunshine. I got tired of it, but I pushed on. Let's push on. Like, I kinda, like, Pushcha's like playing with us, that's fine. Determined, I pushed on. Since the change, I had become acutely aware of how my body worked, and I remembered what humans were good at: running. Stubborn, relentless, long-distance running. Not as fast as deer, not as nimble as a wolf, but steady and without rest. So I ran. And then I was there. An old den hidden in the roots of a crooked pine. I crouched and looked into the hole. A sudden gust of wind brought with it an almost imperceptible smell of wolf cubs. I lay down under the tree and closed my eyes. I could feel the sun on my face. The wind rustled through the leaves, and the air smells of sweet dew and greenery. I breathed it in, and it fills me with peace and warmth. I close my eyes and extend my hands and feel my fingers dip into the thickness of the grass that covers the earth. Also, no spiders here. I like it. Thanks, game. I hear a whisper. Please don't spider me. I am the grass, but it whispers to me. I cover everything. Oh, this is probably that like white voice that we're calling about earlier. That like singing we heard at the camp. A bird flies over the forest. The trees move their branches like green, undulating waves over an endless ocean. I see trees, or I see sickness. What's sickness? Maybe the sickness of like the logging trying to destroy it all. I think let's just focus on the forest first. That's what we're here for. I see trees that are eaten by bugs. They desiccate and die. And then I see loggers or foresters. I mean, what's the difference? I don't actually know. They've been calling them loggers so far as I know. So let's just go with that one. I see humans felling the sick trees to protect the healthy ones. Interesting. That's, you know, the official story. I see foresters, or I see humans living in the forest. They're not living in the forest, right? Oh wait, well there are people living in the forest. The activists, for example. That's definitely one. I see foresters. Huh. Let's go with this one. I see a man sitting motionless against a tree trunk, and a little squirrel walking down to him. Curious. I'm not alone. I hear the mournful howl of a lonely, heartbroken wolf somewhere in the forest. Look again, it says, and the smell of ash and tears overwhelm me. And I look again. I see sickness. I see trees that are eaten by bugs, desiccated, die. I see loggers. Humans cut down the trees, but the bugs continue to thrive anyway. See humans destroying the forest? I mean, that's still our other goal, like trying to stop the logging. The forest tries to heal itself, but nobody notices the sickness. Humans turn the forest into a desert. I have seen enough. We are all connected. Trees, animals, humans, Guru. But to survive, you must define and defend your borders. I'm angry and scared, or I feel like a part of the forest. Feel this one. I mean, you know, that's basically what's been going on. I am the forest, the world says to me. Let me work. I think I understand. That's basically this whole game in a nutshell. I think I understand what the forest wants from me. The world is one all-encompassing organism, and it can heal itself. It just needs help to keep the sickness at bay. A man opens his hand. There's an acorn there. A squirrel grabs it and runs away. I see a little girl laughing, delighted when she sees it. I open my eyes, and I saw the wolf looking at me. Come with me, is what the Pusha wants. There's no one else to be my cup. Come to me, child. I will nurse you and I will lick your wounds. We will kill together. We will feast and we will be merry. The forest will grow. I looked at her and, perhaps for the first time, I saw her for who she was. Her pelt was marked with fire. Her eyes were smoking embers. Ash was falling from her heaving flanks. She looked old, ancient, sad and alone. She was Kazan's mother. That was like the wolf that was like taken into captivity, or like the only remaining one, I believe. Do we have like anything about that? Like any reminder? Doesn't look like it. She was mourning incarnated. She was Kazan's mother. I kind of like this actually. Like tie it into the early story. Mourning her stolen cups, howling in the woods, waiting for a response that never came. She was more than that. She was also the Pusha. She was also more than one wolf. She was the darkness. I think like we're all connected. Forest, Pusha. She was also the spirit of the forest, the Pusha herself, wounded, hurt, violated, and mourning all her children that humans had killed. At least that was what I thought when I looked at her. The wolf mother looked back at me, and something in her eyes made me realize that she was trying to tell me what the Pusha wanted from me. Join me, she pleaded. Only you can understand me. Only you. Interesting. Why us? Because we have this connection with the forest? Let's just go to her. Morning wolf loyal. Interesting. I went to her and she accepted me. And I accepted myself. We are full on willpower. Okay, the wolf mother was the voice of the forest. Yeah, okay, fair. And finally understood who I was. The wind howled, the trees shook their branches, and the humans looked at the forest in terror. Okay. Oh, and all of us. A lone howl pierced the silence like a single ray of moonlight in the darkness. Then there was another, and then another, and then another. A choir of voices, triumphant and joyful. I opened my eyes. I saw I was in a clearing. Around me there were wolves, huge, monstrous wolves, howling at the moon. Werewolves just like me. I realized that was my life now, or I joined them. Let's join in. So like, let's change to... Yeah, Hispo. We haven't done that one as well. The monstrous wolf form. The pain was overwhelming. My spine cracked and twisted. My knees and ankles broke and I fell on the ground. My jaw shattered and rearranged itself. My whole skin was on fire, rippling and sprouting fur. I howled in agony. When I rose, panting and spitting blood, I was Hispo, with strong paws, mighty jaws and a mane of fur. More than a wolf, scary and monstrous. Instinctively I changed and joined the choir. My voice was unsteady at first, but soon I found my own note, a unique addition to the chorus. Well, hello there, Cornell smiled at me, and welcome to the Sept. The what? The Sept, whatever that meant? Or I just listened. Let's just listen, like, you know, let him do his talk. I realized that my survival depended on learning very quickly, so I just nodded and listened. For a werewolf, the pack is family, Cornell explained. And an alliance of packs united in a common goal is a Sept. So there were 2 packs here, or more. Yeah, at least 2, that checks out. I looked at Olga, I looked at Cornell, I looked at Kim, I looked at Pat. Who the hell is Pat? I don't remember that name. Oh, we have met them apparently, and apparently they kind of like us. German hacktivist and Cornell's friend, a small young woman dressed in black and with disheveled, bleached out hair. Huh. I don't remember seeing her. Okay, now that we have about, you know, a couple seconds to think about this decision, I will do that, and in the meantime, I will go grab another glass of water, because it's warm. Hydrating is good. Drink water. Definitely should have thought more about the fact that it minimizes now for some reason when I click outside of it. Well, here we are. So yeah, I looked at Olga, Cornell, Kim, or Pat. So Kim, they were the ones that started the attack, and we haven't seen them since. So let's look at them. And all the grizzled wolves changed into Kim, and Cornell and Pat joined them moments later. We are the Winter Weasel pack. There's the Winter Weasel, said Kim. A white shadow settled on Pat's shoulder. I smelled musk and electricity. And Olga's the only one from like the wolf. What was the wolf? I don't remember what it was named. Olga and Lisa stood up, human looking again. Their clothes rumpled. The yellow-eyed wolf by their side turned out to be Daniel. We are the pack of the mourning wolf mother, said Olga. They smelled of ash and tears. For a moment I saw the wolf spirit among them. We are all Gaia soldiers, said Cornell. In that we have no choice. But we can choose whom we fight alongside. Why the spirit animals did I have to join a pack? Or I had so many questions. Yeah, why the animal spirits? Like what's the deal with them? Like still curious about that. Does every pack have an animal spirit? How does that work? Such spirits are called patrons, and not all are animals. And our pact with them gives us additional weapons with which to fight the sickness and corruption of the worm. The last word reeked of decay and burning oil. Do I have to join a pack? Just to make sure. No, Karoo can survive on their own, Cornell said with sympathy. Your old human life is over, but we will never abandon you. I had so many questions and I've already asked 2. What about the moon? Was every septite diverse? How did the spirits work? I think, like, let's start with the spirits again, because we did go, you know, we are pretty high in spiritual. The world casts a shadow, and we call it the Umbra. There's a lot of terminology in this. And in the shadow, every living creature, every emotion and ID, every important object exists as a spirit. That's all you need to know at the moment. It's like, I saw a a campaign done in like, that one was a Vampire the Masquerade, but as I said before, like Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampire the Masquerade are all part of the like World of Darkness. And Vampire the Masquerade also very much has this thing of like, there's a lot of terminology going on. The DM of that like group had like, you know, printouts to help things, and he specifically said like, don't look beyond page, beyond that page, because your eyes will go cross. I thought that was a very fun way to say that. So yeah, Werewolf the Apocalypse definitely has that as well. So we call it the Umbra. Every object exists as a spirit, so all you need to know at the moment. Sure. So what about the moon? Was every sept diverse? Let's focus on the sept first. Like, the moon is also clearly something going on, but let's talk about that later. You are from all over Europe, I noticed. Is this like standard for a sept? I looked at Cornell or I looked at Olga. Whose reaction am I most interested in? So Cornell is from like Germany, so she's not from here. Olga is from here. Huh. I'm gonna look at Cornell for this one. He's the working together type, so... I didn't even know if it was the stupid question or a smart one. I looked at Cornell. It's far from the standard, but desperate times make strange bad fellas. He smiled sadly. Normally, a sept is dominated by one tribe. Maybe two. Or at least a dozen tribes. And I hope, Maya, that you will choose yours wisely. Okay, that's not threatening at all. But what about the moon? Why did I hear the moon whispering to me? Luna gave us rage. That's why she's important, Olga said. And that's why you'll never be able to touch silver again. Okay, let's go over this once more. I've been conscripted into an ancient war against a worm. I slept slowly, trying to put it all together. And the moon gave me rage as a weapon, but I must avoid silver. That's normal. There's a whole secret world of spirits, I continued, and I have to join a pack and choose a tribe? Exactly. As for the tribe, there are two people who could mentor you now. Olga's from the Black Furies, an ancient tribe of women warrior, and Cornell is from the Children of Gaia. And he's more a peace and harmony guy. Children of Gaia seemed cool, the Black Furies sounded good. What about my family's tribe? Interesting question. Was that a bad thing to say? What about my family's tribe? I asked. Lisa winced. Daniel sighed. Olga shook her head. What's the matter? Your ancestors were the Gad of Fenris, and no one here wants to have anything to do with that tribe. They stand against everything we believe in. Okay, so yeah, Fenris like also all about destruction and such. So probably like Worm Alliance sounds like it. Were they really that bad? Did they come from a tainted bloodline? Let's go for this one. Like, let's hear what they actually are about. Surely aren't that bad, are they? Gad of Fenris are the most radical Garou supremacists that ever marked the face of Earth. Okay, sure. The rest of that sentence didn't get better. Kim scoffed. Like legit fascist werewolves. Some of them literally worked for Hitler. Okay, not what I was expecting, but sure. Gad of Fenris, a tribe of werewolf supremacists who celebrate the destruction of the human world that Father Fenrir promised at Ragnarok. Antagonistic to the other tribes to the extent that some whisper of worm taint. There we go. Told you they were working with the worms. Or with the worm. Singular worm. Capital letter. Worm. Hated and distrusted. Many see them as another enemy in the war of apocalypse. Okay. I was only asking, like, you know, now that I've heard that, no thank you. Not interested anymore. I rolled my eyes. It was only a question. It's not like I wanted to join the cursed tribe. For a moment, we were all silent. We needed to know more about the tribes. There were a lot of werewolves here. It's duh. Let's keep talking about tribes. Find an option that would really resonate with who I was. I talked with Kim, I talked with Daniel, I talked with Lisa, I talked with Pat. I am pretty curious about Kim. And, like, these are neutral, which might be good. Because on the one hand, like, I don't actually remember who's Daniel. Daniel was also from the, like, wolf tribe, right? Daniel. A local tourist guide. Oh, that was Daniel. That was the guy that, like, walked us around the forest for the first time. Oh, now I remember. Standing with weather-beaten skin and eyes of the strangest shade of yellow-green. A Garou born as a wild wolf. Ooh, I'm actually kind of curious about that. They're also, like, neutral towards us, so I'm kind of interested, like, they might say, like, you're really more of Cornell's type. Because they don't want us to join, like, their tribe. So, let's actually ask Daniel. Like, he seemed like... Also, he had some pretty interesting beliefs when he was showing us around. I asked Daniel if I could join his tribe, but he didn't understand the question. I'm a red talon, he said, as if it explained everything. So, what are red talons? It's a tribe of the Guru who are born as wolves, Daniel explained. We usually don't mix with others, and we kill humans. But since I'm the only one here, I decided that it was better to join the rest. Why? Or it was a wise decision? I mean, it is a wise decision. What's one wolf gonna do against all the other ones? Especially, again, given the whole situation that we have on our hands. It's better to have a pack than to be alone, I said. It's always strength in numbers. I protect my folk better when there are more werewolves around. Your folk? Wolves. Oh, so he's like connected with actual wolves. Okay, that's fair. I stared to get who he was. I asked him about the wolf mother. That's all I wanted from him. I'm gonna ask him about the wolf mother. He told that story as well. The morning wolf mother? She is Kazan's mother. She became a spirit after his death. But I knew she was older than that. Or I decided not to comment. Actually wanna... Again, like... What are our stats currently? We are also pretty analytical. So like... Analytical, spiritual. It's kind of like... The choice belief. Because this sounds pretty analytical of like... This doesn't make sense. Let me point out the holes in your story. And this is like, I'm just gonna accept this, like, whatever. Actually, I'm kind of feeling this one. Like, it doesn't really matter. She's a spirit now, that's all that matters, right? It was a neat story, too neat, but I kept my doubts to myself. Daniel smiled at me. I love her. She knows what it means to be a wolf. That was all I wanted from her, or I stared to get who he was. I'm actually kind of curious about this, because Daniel's been like a mysterious figure from the start of the game. So and we have like tons of willpower, so let's actually do this. Daniel sniffed the air, his nostrils moved in a very non-human way. I was looking, enthralled. Was he a wolf? We did notice that he was walking a little weirdly early as well. Are you a wolf? I asked. He made a face. We all are. That was not what I meant, or I could see what he wanted to say. That it doesn't matter anymore where he came from, but the fact that we're all wolves now, that's what matters. Kinda like that, if that's actually what it's going for. And Daniel's sympathetic. You're right, we ran and hunt together, but my experiences were different than yours. He tilted his head and looked at me. Yeah, I was born as a wolf, and then, when it turned out that I wasn't only a wolf, I was disgusted. You know, going around on two legs, soft and helpless, who really wants that? I don't want to have anything to do with humans. But Lisa comes one day and she talks to me and brings me the Olga, and I think, well, they're not that bad. And they have stuff. Stuff is nice, I like stuff. He sniffed on the wind again. Besides, I can show them the pushcha the way I see it. The way the wolf sees it. Once they see it like that, they never come back into their old ways. Interesting. Okay. So that's also very much like... You know, he definitely like got adjusted to like stuff from the human world. But other than that, he's definitely like... He's basically from the other side. Like, we always think of like werewolves as like humans turned into wolves. But he is like a wolf turned into a human. And that's also why his speech probably so like... Why he stutters. Because he's just not that used to human speech. I don't know when he would have turned, but still. That probably has something to do with that. Or he's just a guy who stutters. People exist. That's also chill. That's also cool if it's that way. Okay, that's all I wanted from him. Because there's nothing more to gain. Thanks. That's all I wanted from him. Okay, so we can talk with all of them. That's cool. So yeah, let's talk with... I don't know if we can go throughout all of them. Or it's like you can pick a couple and then it's over. I am curious about Kim though. Like, what's their deal? Kim told me about Bonars, urban werewolves fighting for the disadvantaged and the marginalized, children of the rat. Did I really have a rat as a patron, or I asked Kim about their story? They stand for the rights of the poor and the disenfranchised everywhere, making their homes in favelas, squats and camps, hated by the other tribes because they act like tame dogs, eating the scraps of the human table. Oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. It's also like... Definitely, like, there's a, like, a inherent, what do you call it, contradiction in them. Like, standing up for the rights of the poor and disenfranchised is like, oh, just like all poor and disenfranchised. And that's why, like, other tribes see them as, like, too close to those humans. Right, okay. Also, this is all still happening while I'm Hispo? Interesting. Okay, Bonar is pretty interesting. Did I really have a rat as a patron? That's really not the point I'm going. There's a weasel. Like, you know, rat's not that weird, to be honest. But I do want to know their story. It is always about prejudice, said Kim when I asked about their story. That was not what I asked. Come on, I gave up willpower for this. I asked about how you became a werewolf. Patience, darling. Kim waved her finger at me. I've seen it all, you know. I was born on the day when the Berlin Wall was constructed, and half of my family was cut out. I looked somber. I ran away from home when I was 13 and hung out with some really weird crowd at the zoo station. Why did they run? Or I read that book? What kind of response is that when somebody's telling you about, like, about their life? Why did they run? Unless they are lying to us and this really is from a book, but like, whatever. That doesn't seem to be the implication there. I liked it there. There were animals and we lived like animals. But I liked it, Kim shrugged. You see, I always knew I was a werewolf. My family was full of them. I knew through everything you could imagine. Punk rock, Berlin squads, drug dealing, gay clubs, you name it. I was there. Kim continued their story. And I was always some prejudiced pricks. Prejudice, it's the worst shit. Those little constructs in their brains that poison everything they do. And that's it? That's your story? Okay, sure, fair enough. Did I really have a rat as the tribe patron, I asked? Sure we do. It's a very good patron. Resilient. You want to be like a rat. Always managing, always afloat. He kept talking. And that's why the Bonars protect every single guy as child, no matter how small, because we are all valid. They sighed heavily. I tell it to the other Guru and they look down on you, because you are a Bonar, and they think they are superior. Prejudice everywhere. Oh, that's why she was also so, like, vehemently against, like, everybody was against the what was it again? The pet of Fenrir? But she, like, especially, like, called it out, like, you know, they're just, like, werewolf supremacists. Which makes sense knowing that she's a Bonar, because she would be, like, diametrically opposed to their beliefs then. Okay, so I don't know much about pets, so let's go Lisa next. Also, it's interesting that we can't talk with Olga and Cornell. I asked Lisa about her tribe, but she inherited the Zebrarock legacy from her Buryat grandfather. She said I didn't know the proper legends, customs, and culture to join. How did she become a werewolf? Was Zebrarock a Russian word? I asked her about the wolf mode. Okay, what is Zebrarock? That's apparently another question we can ask, so let's use the game. Their hate, sorrow, and rage are deeper than any other tribes, because their icy Siberian homeland is melting and decaying. Now, they are despised by the other tribes as half-breed loners who care only for themselves. Are all the tribes despised by the other tribes? Is that just the way it is? How did she become a werewolf? Was Zebrarock a Russian word? How did she come to Poland is apparently the question that's going to take us willpower. Ask her about the wolf mother. I'm also curious about her story, like... What about the morning wolf mother? She's mighty and powerful. There was a tone of deep respect in Lisa's voice. Who was she? She's old. Very old. We don't know when she first appeared here. I think she's the avatar of the forest. The avatar? But what did she want? Well, probably not to die. Let's ask that question anyway. But what does the wolf mother want from us? Keep asking myself the same question. She knows how to find her way into people's heads. Lisa looked at me for a moment, deciding what to say next. I respect her, but sometimes I think she gets into Olga's heads too much. Olga lets her in, and the wolf pushes. And, I don't know, maybe it's the right way to do things now? I knew that, I didn't comment, or I was afraid of the wolf mother. I knew that? Sounds like reasonable. As in, like, we get it, because they also definitely got into our heads. She's been talking to me a lot, I admitted, and I agreed to help her. So now Lisa's cautious again, because she dislikes that connection. That's cool. How did she become a werewolf? How did she come to Poland? Was Zebrarock a Russian word? I'm actually, like, this is probably more of, like, what does it mean? So let's start here and then get into her story. So, not sure how to approach the topic. Siberok? I mean, you're from Siberia, but the tribe name reminds me of something. Yes, Siberok. She pronounced it differently, so it sounded like a Polish word. Must have heard it before. It wasn't the word Russian. Yeah, isn't it Russian? Why are you saying it that way? I thought the word was Russian. In Russian, it means someone from Siberia. But in Polish, it has its own, very specific meaning. It's a word for political prisoners exiled to Siberia, and there were tens of thousands of them. What a terrible name. So why was she using that name? Or which meaning did she prefer? Interesting question. Yeah, I kind of like that one actually. Like that tells us a lot more about how she looks at it than any of the other questions. Which meaning do you identify with? The Polish or the Russian? I asked. Lisa smiled. My tribe name describes both of my legacies. My granny was a political exile, and my grandpa was a Siberian indigenous. I use it because it speaks the truth. Cool. Okay, so let's ask her about her story, basically. How did you become a werewolf? My grandpa saw I had the soul of a wolf and started teaching me about the spirit world. She looked at me with her violet eyes. When the time was right, he guided me through the change. I didn't really remember my grandpa, or my grandpa also helped me. Oh, that's an interesting, like, where you can choose our backstory, essentially. I think I didn't really remember my grandpa. It makes a lot of sense. Because, like, our mother basically took us away from all our other family, it sounded like, from the start of the game. So, I think this one makes more sense, actually. My grandpa was telling me stories, I sighed, but I forgot most of them. I forgot how he looked. You remember more than you realize. How else would you know the high tongue? That was a good question. Is it? I don't even know what that means. The language of the Garou. It depends as much on body language and tone as on actual words. Much of it is instinctive, accented by pheromones, growls, and whines. Cool. Okay, well, let's pull our willpower all the way down. How'd you get here? A long story, she sighed. Well, I came here in search for a better life. Through the forest, illegal. I still wait for my papers to be sorted. She wasn't exactly hiding. Aren't you afraid they'll catch you? You are not exactly hiding. Nah, you know, I do things here and there, help with the tourists, help with the forest. And my moonshine, best in the province. That was all I wanted from her. The moonshine? Okay, so Pat. What's up? I don't know you actually. Pat was a glasswalker, and her tribe was finding its niche in cutting edge, technological cityscapes, among the strands of the weaver's net. Sounded intriguing, we talked for a while. Glasswalker, an adaptable tribe of urban human lovers who worship the weaver, or at least freely use its tools to fight the worm. Hated by the other tribes for their willingness to abandon the old ways and embrace the tools of the enemy. Interesting. Okay. What was she doing in the forest? She didn't look like a werewolf at all, or how did you get a spirit patron anyway? What is she doing in the forest? I mean, I think we all know what we're doing here. But if you're like, yeah, again, all glasswalkers are, it's a natural habitat. I feel quite out of place in the forest. But the Pushcha was our home, that got my interest. This kind of feels like, you know, pushing her away. And this is just like, oh, that's curious. Because I feel connected with the Pushcha, which is very much not urban. Is it a tribe thing? That's what it is, she nodded. We use the weaver to fight the worm, and the forest is not the weaver's domain. And I happen to be quite fond of humanity. You have great potential. She didn't look like a werewolf at all. Why did you get a spirit patron anyway? Or I had to think it over. She didn't look like a werewolf at all. That sounds weird to say. How did you get a spirit patron anyway? It's like, I think the spirit patrons have been explained. So, I think that's just, thanks Pat. That's all I wanted to hear. Finally I stopped asking. I had to think over what I'd learned. There are a lot of werewolves here. One thing is bugging me, I said. Why are there so many of you here? Suddenly every is in Berwicha is a werewolf or what? You know nothing, cop, Olga laughed bitterly. A mere century ago there were dozens of packs in these forests. But none of the old guards survived the 90s, Lisa shook her head. We had to start from scratch. Until you showed up, there were only 6 of us. And 3 of us are not even local, Cornell pointed out. 2 packs too small for their own good. Anyway, before you're admitted to a tribe, you need to prove yourself. Oh, what now? Excuse you? Prove myself? I was shocked. Never proven myself enough already? Apparently not. You went through your first change, Pat said. She was leaning on a tree nearby, and you know everything you need to know at the moment. But you have to go through the rite of passage. Daniel rubbed against my flank, excited. A vision quest, Kim winked at me. And since we don't have time for tests, we need you to solve a real problem, Olga stepped in. Namely, we want you to find a way of ending this logging problem, Cornell said gently. So, how would you like to do it? They all looked at me in anticipation. I take my time. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened. My old self was gone, replaced by a shape-shifting eco-warrior, but deep down I was still the same person, with the same ideas and ideals. I knew just what to do. Beat the rite of passage. What I wanted to do. We need to make the loggers fear nature. I need to talk to the spirits. People need to open their eyes. Interesting. We need to make the loggers fear nature. That's just gonna get these loggers out of here. Replace them with new loggers. That's not gonna do anything for us. I need to talk to the spirits. Maybe? But it's also like, why would they suddenly come with a solution? Like, all of these people are connected with the spirits and they haven't yet. People need to open their eyes. That's probably the only thing that might get actual change done in this place. So let's go with that one. People need to see what's happening to Gaia and feel her pain. We have to wake up the spirits. Cornell, another idea. Something is rotten in Białowieża, Cornell commented, and I think that we should find and neutralize local forces that support the logging. Pat just laughed. We should create a diversion. There are too little of us for a direct confrontation with the loggers. I continued with my plan. I'll talk to the spirits and see what they can do to help us. If nature itself destroys the loggers' equipment, there's no one to blame. Lisa looked thoughtful. I'll introduce you to the spirits you need to talk to. Daniel beamed. Sounds like a true Turge. You were born under a crescent moon, weren't you, Maya? Turge, those born under the crescent moon are mystics and seers, dealing with spirits, interpreting visions and omens. Cool! Okay. I just feel like we are kinda getting like funneled into this solution, but whatever, you know. It sounds cool. Looked at him, surprised. How did he know? Mom always told me that when she gave birth to me, she saw the crescent moon through the windows. Sharper and brighter than ever before. Is this crescent? Oh. Oh. So now we have like a class? Or an auspice is what it's called apparently. Oh wait, there's like a explanation going on here. You're right, how did you know? Guru born under the crescent moon are shamans and healers, said Lisa. Just like you and me. A worthy Turge always act with wisdom, added Olga. Your place in a werewolf society will be determined by your renown. You can earn glory through defeating mighty enemies and succeeding at dangerous quests. You can earn honor by following your moral imperative and upholding the laws of the Guru. You can earn wisdom by acting efficiently and thinking well before you act. Your renown will change as you play, contributing to Maya's legend among the Guru. No pressure at all. I felt overwhelmed. Like I say, let's go back to this. Okay, so these are just our new stats, essentially, basically. That have to do with our standing in like werewolf society, apparently. Cool, I felt overwhelmed. That's for sure. Olga must have sensed my confusion. Come on, we have a lot to discuss, she patted my shoulder. And we have to find your phone and wallet. So I followed her. I had to tie up loose ends in my old life. Back to the beginning. I'm sitting on a bus. The sun streaming through the windows is making it hard to see. That's Anya. That's gonna be a thing. Is this a dream? The narrow road cuts through a dense old forest. My mind wanders. This is also definitely like back to the start again. I remember doing something important, walking among the trees, looking for something, losing something I loved, gaining something I wanted. But then, I'm fully awake, and the memories scatter away. We're almost there, says Anya. I did some searching, she looks at me from her phone. This place is amazing, the last primordial forest on Earth. I'm excited to be here, It can be the last one. She's alive. Well, this is definitely the thing that we're actually thinking. But if we are, like, back to the beginning, this is going to be weird. If it's a dream, I'm fully happy with, like, doing this and just being happy that she's here for a moment. I'm just going to say it can be the last one. Sounds pretty, like, resistant to the idea, which is good. We know it is, but it's also like we don't want it to be. And I'm excited to be here. It's like somewhere in the middle. It's like, yeah, I am happy to be here, but also excited isn't the word. We're here to fight. But it can't be the last one. What the fuck? I'm not able to finish. I start to cough. I spit blood or I try to stop. What the fuck is that? Also, I just got... Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. I'm not a fan of what's going on here. My throat is sore. My lungs hurt. Anya, I need help. I need to stop the bus. Anya isn't here, so there's no use for trying to help us. Get up and shout to the driver, but feel something sticky on my hands and torso. Something stopping me. Spiders? Oh, please don't actually show spiders. Okay, those are fine. I'm fine. If you actually notice, like, me getting, like, slightly less loud there, because I actually moved away from my desk there. Oh god, I really don't want to be reading this. I try to get out. I check the window, but a few seconds later I am... there's a hiss. Please don't do this. And slowly... What? Oh wait, it's a snake. Okay, I don't have a thing against snakes. Jesus, okay, there's a lot going on here. Then slowly a long, dark, thin shape comes out of Anya's ripped neck. A black snake that reeks of rotten meat, acid and oil. Don't fight, Maya. You're already mine, it says. Just like your grandpa. Oh wait, this is the worm. And then it kisses me. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And that's the start of another chapter again. And much like last week, we are like a little early on time. We haven't even been streaming for 2 hours yet. But that seems like an amazing place to end this stream. Because what the fuck just happened? Holy hell, that was a dream sequence and a half that I was not ready to have. Also, like, all of what happened today, like, we got into like an even bigger fight than last time. We got introduced to Wolf Society, essentially. We learned all kinds of like different new terms. And then we had a nightmare unlike any we had before. So, yeah, that was sick. That was cool. Loved that. So yeah, I am just going to end it there. Like, once again, like, I think... I thought this game was shorter than it was. I thought we would be able to finish it today because I looked at, like, how long it took. And what I found was 2.5 hours. But we've been streaming it now for, like, 3.5? Coming up to 4, I think. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's it for today's stream. Also, the music is going louder again. So let's actually go to the stream has ended screen. Our favorite. So yeah, first of all, thanks everybody very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our further descent into werewolf territory. And with more disturbing things, and I'm gonna have to put more content warnings on the VOD. Yikes. That game is quite something. I might actually need to put it in the like the stream title as well next time, just like I did with Detention. Because at this point, yeah, this is definitely worse than Detention. So anyway, yeah, I want to thank everybody very much for watching. Next week, I will just be continuing with with this game because we need to see where this is going. I'm going to like do it much like Coffee Talk before. I'm just going to play through it once. I might play more on it on my own because it does seem like there's a lot of like branching stuff that might be going on. But yeah, for now, at least on stream, I will only play through it once. So once we're done with this playthrough, that's going to be it. And if you want to know more, you can buy it yourself. And obviously, you know, if you've enjoyed this, it's fucking cool. It's pretty fucking cool. If it is your thing, it's cool. So yeah, there's that. Then also, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, I mentioned that I have to put content warnings on the VODs because if you didn't know, I put all of the unedited VODs on my YouTube channel because Twitch deletes them after like 2 weeks, and at the moment there's genuinely like, well, this one will be on there of course, but before we did this stream there was only like 2 VODs on there, I believe, and one of them was pretty close to like timing out, so I mean that also had to do with like Saturday's stream not working as planned, but yeah. So yeah, I put the whole unedited VODs on the YouTube. If you're here on Twitch, you can find a link to that channel in the About page because it doesn't have an easy URL. Because you can't. You can only get those if you have like, I think it's like 100 subscribers, maybe 1,000. I don't actually know. More than I have, anyway. So yeah, if you're interested in watching anything back, that's your place to be. I also have a Twitter where I announce like when I'm going to go live, if there's going to be any changes in the schedule, like this week, or just what kinds of games I'm going to be playing if we finish one of them. But yeah, so my Twitter is twitter.com/JozeevisStreams. It only contains announcements related to the stream, so don't worry about like me spamming you with anything. It's like, at least it's going to be 2 posts a week. It usually comes down to 3 or 4, but not more than that. So definitely won't be spamming you there. So yeah, twitter.com/JozeevisStreams. You can also find it if you're on Twitch in the About page as well. And if you're on YouTube, as I said, on my VOD channel, you can find it in the description. Also, if you are on YouTube, I stream all of this live on Twitch. Usually Wednesdays and Saturdays. And you can find a link to my Twitch channel in the description. Also, the schedule is on there or somewhere. You can find it. It's also on my Twitter. I trust you guys. I trust you people. You can find all of this. I have the utmost belief. If you want to, you're able to. So yeah, that's YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, I guess. Is there anything else? I feel like I've missed something. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I mentioned that I would post any change to the schedule on Twitter, and then I said like this week, because if you don't know, this week we won't have a stream on Saturday afternoon. We will instead have it Friday afternoon. So it will start Friday, 2 p.m. Central European Summertime, as always. And other than that, I was going to check like if next week is normal. Yeah, next week there's no changes as of yet. And yeah, as I said, we will be continuing Werewolf next week on Wednesday. This Friday we will be going on with Iconfell. I finally found a full playthrough of somebody who got to the point where I got stuck. So hopefully we will be able to continue this one. And otherwise we will have another very short stream on Friday, and I'll probably like dislike myself a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. But yeah, so this Friday, Iconfell. Next Wednesday, more Werewolf. That's basically all I needed to say. So once again, want to thank everybody very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe I'll see you another time. Bye bye.